match, Kim.
Yes, for sure. Sapphire Amethyst, the most common deck represented here this weekend. And Rebecca, I know you were rooting for this underdog deck, this Amber Emerald. I'm excited to see these decks play up against each other.
Me too. And I have to say, though, of course, here in the top cut, our deck lists are open. And Lucas has some spice, Kim. There is
does
some
have some spice
in this Amethyst Emerald deck, or Amethyst Sapphire deck, excuse me. So one of the things that I noticed was he has magical maneuvers, one copy of magical maneuvers. He also has one dig a little deeper, which is fantastic. So there are some spicy cards in here.
Yeah, and to let all of you know at home, top 32 with this top 8 match. Well, they've competed. They've been able. These players have fought them. They've played so well. They played not 8 rounds yesterday of Swiss.
Another 4
this morning, and we're bringing you top 8. These players know these decks inside out. They're gonna be able to know themselves what lines they're gonna want to play. Our Blurple player here, Sapphire Amethyst, going to be wanting to hit that all-important turn 2 ramp. We've seen it a lot today, but playing into this Emerald deck, we know they have Under the Sea. They're going to be playing those dogs. Luke is really going to be needing to get up to that high ink threshold to be able to play the cards like Hades, all of his useful removal tools like Hades, the Basil to be able to bounce cards back to the hand for Alessandro can be utilized too, but not to mention the Under the Sea that this dog deck is going to have, possibly.
Yes. Now this dog deck does not have Chromacon. It doesn't have Emerald Chromacon, but obviously he didn't need it.
No.
He's here in the top 8. But Lucas, you know what else Lucas has in his deck? He has 2 copies of Ursula Voice Stealer. Now this is a new card, and he only has, like I said, 2 copies in it. 5 cost inkable character, 3/4 quest for 1, but a really interesting ability. Sing for me, sing for me. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing character, and then you can play a song that equals the cost of the character, equal or less than the exerted character's cost. You can play that for free. So it's like you're using your opponent's character to sing a song. It's really an interesting. So 2 copies of that in Lucas's deck. We have our players here shuffling up and cutting up. There's a handshake.
Here's the handshake. Both players already have winning themselves that golden Mickey Mouse brave little Taylor. It is a foil uncut sheet on the line, but players here going to be wanting to win themselves that all-important first place prize, the ticket to season 2 of Disney Lorcana Worlds.
Yes, there's so much on the line here, and I know that these players, the mental endurance that these players have to have, like we were just talking about earlier. 4 rounds this morning, they've been playing in the top cut, and now we have the players ready to get in there. Look at those cards, they are ready to go. Our Alessandro Danasi on player 1, Lucas Marcellin, player 2. We are into top 8. What do we see here?
I have to look at Alessandro's hand here. It's not your typical Amber Emerald deck. It's running princesses.
It does have princesses. We have Aurora holding court. We have a Tiana. This is fantastic. This is fun. I like this.
I like this. We get to cast some princesses.
We do. There are princesses here in top 8 of Disney Lorcana Challenge.
Yeah.
I didn't really catch what was in Lucas's hand.
Neither did I, but if Lucas did have any removal tools like that Into the Unknown to send cards into the inkwell, this Amber Emerald deck is playing that Ursula Deceiver. Could be used turn 2 to take that 3 cost inkable Into the Unknown, into the discard. Goodbye, into the unknown. Never to be known.
The unknown, never to be known again to your inkwell. Yes, that Ursula Deceiver, I think, could come in really instrumental. Playing it at just the right moment is going to be key. Not only that, but there's also second star to the right that is found in this the Blurple deck, as the fans live to call it, our Amethyst Sapphire. So that Ursula Deceiver could come in really handy to take those song cards out of Lucas's hand.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to see this matchup take place. Now, we could possibly see a turn 1 Aurora holding court into a quest with Aurora and a turn 2 Tiana.
Yep, that would be great. princesses in the Amber Emerald deck. Not something that I expected to see. I would not have put that on my bingo card if I was making a bingo card for the Disney Lorcana Challenge Bologna. I would not have put an Amber Emerald princess deck on my bingo card.
No, something we could possibly see here turn one. I believe he also has that 1-cost Pluto in hand, which when you exert this character, you're going to be able to play one less.
Which is fantastic,
for any
actually.
character, not just a princess.
I love that because you have basically four one-drop characters that can reduce the cost of the next possible character that you can play. Lucas, starting us off. Oh, okay. We have Iago into the Inkwell, but no turn one from Lucas here.
Oh, extremely unfortunate. We could have possibly seen the Basil come in here. We know he's running some Basils.
Yep.
Especially being able to utilize that support ability later on, being able to establish that Basil so early on. This first, knowing that Lucas is on the play, could that possibly lose him
that
something?
Could make a difference.
He's going to hit that turn 2 ramp.
Yes.
It is Tipo, Growing Sun. Do you know his flavor text, Rebecca?
Oh, tell me his flavor text.
Look, Mom, I'm still growing.
Excellent, excellent. We had Aurora go into to the board. We are exerting to quest for one, and there is that Tiana coming down, like we said. Perfect play line there that we like to see, and gosh, yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see. Can Alessandro get ahead quickly in this? You know, the Sapphire Amethyst deck, it is can be a little bit slower at the beginning of the game. And if you have a deck that can really, really come out of the gate bursting, get a lot of lore to start and position yourself well, and maybe stop this Sapphire Amethyst deck from getting to that late game, that can really, really do you a lot of good.
Yep.
Dumbo coming down.
That elephant in the room that we've seen a lot this weekend. Dumbo, the 9th wonder of the universe.
He's breaking records.
Play. He's breaking records already.
Making history.
Making history. We've seen Dumbo being utilized in a lot of later games in these Amethyst Sapphire decks when you already have evasive characters established on board. And we talked about this already, that Ursula Deceiver being able to, for Alessandro to have a look at Lucas's hand. Now,
No songs, but that does give Alessandro a lot of information of what to expect. I also want to go back just real quick. That's Tipo. Lucas decided to challenge Aurora with the Tipo, which I thought is really interesting, putting 1 damage counter there on that princess who is holding court.
Yeah, and this is where Lucas would have if he could have been able to establish that turn 1 Basil, being able to quest with Basil, giving Tipo that extra strength could have really helped him just be able to clear this Aurora.
He could have helped Tipo grow a little bit
Tipo
more.
Grow his little strength. He's still growing.
I love to see Tipo getting some support so he can challenge and take something out. But yeah, missing that 1-drop Basil, I think, is not doing Lucas any favors.
No,
but having that Dumbo, though, is really great. He does have 3 cards in hand right now, and Alessandro thinking what he wants to do now. He has that information of what was in Lucas's hand, and thinking here he has not yet inked for turn. What are we going to ink? What are we going to play?
Yeah, and we know these Sapphire decks, so well known for that ramping ability. And if you're new to Lorcana and you don't know what ramping is, it basically means you're going to get as much ink to play with in your inkwell as fast as possible.
Yes. There are 2 Bobby Zimaruskis, it looks like, in his hand. There is a Pluto, that lady family dog, which on play you can play in another character to cost 2 or less for free. And I did not see that last card that he had in hand.
No, neither did I. But Bobby Zimaruski.
Lady going into the inkwell. And we do have a Bobby coming down. Alessandro, I think, wanting to filter through his deck, find some different cards, probably knowing what Lucas has in his hand, saying, I need to be prepared.
Yeah, and Bobby,
as the villain would say.
He really does. And we know a lot of these decks are going to play uninkable cards. Bobby Zimaruski, and I like the way Amber Steel has that Mulan to help filter through cards. Bobby Zimaruski, another one of those cards allowing its player to play it. You're going to be able to draw a card and discard one of those uninkable cards. Perhaps that's just clogging up your hand a little bit. Maybe you can draw into an inkable card that you need to be able to just get another card into the inkwell to play whatever glimmer you're holding, to be able to summon it into the Great Illuminary. Summoning
those glimmers with your magical ink, and they are doing that. And now Alessandro not questing with Tiana or Aurora, knowing that both well, Dumbo would be safe if he could challenge with Tipo and Dumbo into Tiana if he wanted to. He has enough ink that he could do that to get around Tiana's ability. There is Ursula
there she
coming
is.
down, exerting Ursula and challenging with the Dumbo.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this Ursula in play.
Yes.
We know Sapphire is so well known for getting up to such high numbers of ink. This 5 cost is nothing because we play other 5 costs in these Amethyst decks, like the Belle, like the Elsa, the 5th Spirit. But this Ursula Voice Stealer, when you play this character, you can exert chosen opposing character, and then you can play a song equal to or less than the exerted character's cost for free. But unfortunately, no songs.
No songs. Improvise. It looks like he gave the strength, I believe, to Tiana, and of course gets to draw a card for that 1 cost action of improvise. The other thing about Ursula that I think is great is he didn't actually use that ability of singing a song, but she has a great stat line, right? A 3/4 character is pretty good. And over on Alessandra's side, we did see him play another Bobby Zimmerowski. Oh, and we have another
improvise. Such a great, not even just for its strength ability, but because you get to draw a card. And that 1 cost, meaning he's going to be able to use it. And if he can ink another card, if he has another 1 drop, he could also play another card. But this Dumbo, 9th Wonder of the Universe, being evasive is going to be difficult for Alessandro to deal with. Now, Alessandro does have cards like possibly Mother Knows Best, perhaps Under the Sea. We know these Emerald decks are going to have them, but cards like this Improvise isn't really going to help him here because he's no evasive characters on the board to deal with this Dumbo, 9th Wonder of the Universe.
Yeah, that Dumbo giving, of course, the ability, he has the ability in giving it to all your other characters that you can exert and pay 1 ink to draw a card and gain lore, which I love to both draw cards and gain lore. So Dumbo is popular for a reason, Kim.
Yes, and something Amethyst does extremely well is card draw.
Absolutely.
We've seen things like Second Star to the Right, and I do have to say, I get it. The Ursula Voice Stealer being able to establish a 5 cost character on the board. If Lucas is able to draw into perhaps Second Star to the Right, he will be able to sing it with this Ursula and perhaps next turn this Belle, because Belle is also 5 cost.
Also 5 cost, inkable, and she is a 4/4, quest for 2, but one of the things that we all love is of her ability to move damage, and we saw that happen, moving it to take care of that Aurora Holding Court. And I think that Alessandro, you know, he played both Bobby Zimmerowski's, he played both of those improvised. I think he is looking for that tramp card, right? That is such a key.
Here it is, exactly like you were talking about.
That is that tramp card that we want to see. He's able to play it out. But of course, the cost is 7, but it is reduced for each character that you have in play. Really, really great card. MVP, I think, of the Emerald Amber ink pairing.
Yeah, we've seen it so much this weekend being used, being able to draw cards and then discard. Unfortunately, you have to get rid of them. But you can draw the amount of cards that as characters that you have in play. Another great way to filter through your deck if you have uninkable cards that you're not able to maybe get into that inkwell to be able to play your higher cost characters.
Yep.
But another great card, and I have to, this Lilo Escape Artist, she's been putting in a lot of work this weekend, being able to be used by cards like this Bobby Zimmerowski, this Miss Mulan, and not to mention this Tramp, being able to send it into the discard like this instead of it being banished. And so next turn, Alessandro has the choice. He can just play this Lilo Escape Artist from the discard.
Yep, absolutely. She's a fun card and also one that has a glimmer foil version.
Yes, she does.
I love it. She was in a collection set, last set. Oh, and we see that Elsa, 5th Spirit, coming down, of course, with Rush. And also you can exert a card on your opponent's side of the board, taking care of that Tramp.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Glimmer Foil, and the Elsa came in.
Yes.
We recently got a Glimmer Foil of the Elsa,
we
5th
did.
Spirit. I can't wait to see players be able to play some of them perhaps in the next Disney Lorcana challenge.
Yes. I think it was Kawa who was saying it, or maybe it was Fessy, that they think that Elsa 5th Spirit is one of the best cards in the game right now. She has Rush. She has Evasive. She has the ability to exert one of your opponent's characters. And she's just so good.
Yeah, and now we know these Amber Emerald decks move pretty fast. They're going to go for that aggro tactic. We've talked a lot about it. They're going to be moving fast, but it doesn't seem like Alessandro had that way out. He's going to choose to play the Lilo Escape Artist. I believe we see the Under the Sea in hand. However, there's not enough characters on the board for him to sing together, because that's, in these Emerald decks, that's the only way we really have to be able to clear a lot of these opposing boards.
Yep.
Is that 2 Under the Seas in hand, Rebecca?
It's 2 Under the Seas, 2 uninkable cards, high-cost uninkable cards. Alessandro, you can tell on his face, he is really thinking, what do I want to do here? We're going to challenge with both Bobby Zimmerskis into Bell, and we're going to play a Jim
We're going to play our Jim Deer. I do like this tactic. You're able to quest with Dear Tiana. Or did he challenge with the Tiana? I believe he quests. He's on 3 lore now, so he would have quested with the Tiana. All opposing characters are going to have -3 strength, which meaning, because none of these characters are more than 3 strength, they're not going to be able to challenge this Jim Deer. However, Lucas could pay the 3 cost to be able to deal with it. This Jim Deer bodyguard coming in at such a key moment, not something we've seen in typical Amber Emerald decks throughout the weekend, but I love it. Bodyguard action.
I love a bodyguard. I know a lot of people like this Jim Deer. We've seen him in a lot of decks. Over on Lucas's side, we do see that he used Dumbo's ability to pay 1 ink and exert to draw a card. I think that Lucas has 7 ink now. It's hard to tell with his sleeves. Rafiki going into the inkwell, and what are we going to play here, Lucas?
Yeah, and if he does have the 7 ink, we could see the Hades come in. But it's going to be
Basil.
Basil. Didn't have it.
Basil.
Oh, we didn't see it happen earlier. No Basil 1-drop, but he's coming in now and could really help him be able to support his other characters and help him clear the board. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yep, he used that ink to take care of that 3 reduction in strength and took out that Jim Deer bodyguard.
Yeah, but still the Tiana on the board. It is 8 lore to 3. Lucas still having the lead, but also he's kind of showing the board. He is having a lot of board control here.
There's a lot of board control. He has the lead in lore. He has control of the board, and we know that with this Sapphire Amethyst deck, that the more ink that he has, the more tools he has available to him. Especially as we get up to 6, 7, 8 ink, we have the Hades, we have the Big Elsa, we have the Monstro in this deck, so there are a lot of tools. And in fact, in this matchup, Monstro is fantastic because that Amber Emerald deck wants to flood the board, wants to get a lot of characters out, and if Lucas can get a Monstro on the board, then he can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, great card utilized in, as particularly these Sapphire Amethyst decks, because they're gaining so much ink, they're able to play the Monstro to the board, and especially utilized with cards like Second Star to the Right.
Yes.
I remember before, I believe it was last week in Cardiff CCQ, a Monstro and a Tipo together sang Second Star to the Right. But I have to feel for Alessandro here.
Oh.
There's 2 uninkables under the 2 uninkable Under the Seas in his hand. Top deck's a lady, gonna have to play the lady. Unfortunately, previously he had the Jim Deer in hand, had to play the Jim Deer. It's not looking great. Lucas really being able to control the board with this Amethyst Sapphire deck.
Yeah, Alessandro really on the back foot here, exerting now the Elsa and paying 1 ink to draw again. Unfortunately, Lucas is not, he's being a little secretive with his cards over here. We haven't been able to really see what he has in hand, but that Dumbo really putting in a lot of work, bringing down a Genie. Wish fulfilled, that 2/4 evasive character. He quests for 2, but also you get to draw a card.
Yes, you do.
And we've said Amethyst loves to draw cards, and Lucas is being able to draw tons of cards. A drawing again here from sailing the Azurite Sea.
Yeah, and we really have to feel for Alessandro here. He's watching his opponent play cards like Genie Wish Fulfilled, Sail the Azurite Sea. He's going to draw so many cards. And unfortunately for Alessandro, he's stuck with 2 Under the Seas in his hand.
Yes, and
not enough characters on the board to sing them.
Not enough characters to sing it, and unfortunately, Alessandro also really doesn't have a lot of options in this deck for card draw. There is that Tramp, of course, that to help you filter through. There's the Bobby Zimmerskis, but there's not a lot of card draw, and being stuck with those 2 Under the Sea, I do not envy his position right now.
No, if he can perhaps even top deck our shiftable lady here being able to take
Yes.
2 characters back from the
Miss
discard.
Park Avenue,
Miss Park Avenue
would
yes.
come in handy. I think that actually that would be a fantastic top deck for Alessandro.
Yeah, but I don't know if it could even be enough with such an abundance of characters on the board for Lucas. I don't know how Alessandro is going to be able to deal with this big wide board. Unless he is able to perhaps shift that Miss Park Avenue, being able to take back cards, possibly ink additional cards. Like if he's able to take back perhaps a Jim Deere. We've seen the Bobby Zimmerowski spray cheese kid coming in. But these cards are also inkable, meaning he would be able to get more cards into the inkwell to help him possibly even establish more characters onto the board. I'd love to see for Alessandro. Just to be able to possibly sing together, but then you have character cards like Dumbo, and you have character cards like this Ursula, who have more than 2 strength, and you're not even going to be able to under the sea them, because unlike these Emerald Sapphire decks have heads held high, which pair up great with this under the sea to be able to reduce strength.
Unfortunately, that he doesn't have that available to him. And we do have a judge call going on right now. We'll find out what's going on and let you know. But the other thing that I was thinking about is that there's a lot of evasive characters, right? So you have the Dumbo, you have Elsa, you have Genie, and in that Amber Emerald deck, you don't really have a lot of answers for the evasive characters, but you do have Under the Sea, right?
You do have Under the Sea.
And Elsa and Genie both having that 2 strength, then Under the Sea would come in really handy, but him not having enough characters on board to sing it is a problem.
There is ways these Emerald decks can deal with these evasive cards, and perhaps maybe they're running their own evasive cards, but you also have cards like You're Welcome to be able to send them back. Yes, okay, you're giving your opponent more cards in their hand.
But sometimes,
not great.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Sometimes it's worth it. I didn't get a great look at this Amber Emerald deck. I'm not sure if he's running any Your Welcomes, but definitely a possible card he could be playing, could be utilized. There's also Mother Knows Best to be able to bounce them back to the hand. Unfortunately, yes, he's going to be able to play them again, but you do stop your opponent being able to quest with them next turn.
Yeah, really disrupting that tempo, right?
Yeah.
You want to stop your opponent from being able to keep those characters on board, but Alessandro just really on the back foot now with that Amber Emerald deck. And we were talking earlier about how we didn't expect to see a Princess Amber Emerald deck.
Yes.
But opening up with that Aurora Tiana was really great. He kind of got off to a good start, but and the opponent, the Sapphire Amethyst player, actually missing turn 1.
Yeah, missing turn 1.
But the tables have turned.
The tables have
turned.
Have turned because at the beginning, I was a bit worried for our Amethyst Sapphire player. No turn 1, wasn't able to establish that early Basil to be able to give that Tipo perhaps. We saw the Tipo having to challenge into that Aurora holding court. If he had been able to play that turn 1 Basil, could have supported our growing boy, our Tipo, to be able to clear that Aurora holding court. But that didn't matter. We have tools like Bell, Accomplished Mystic, to be able to move damage, and being able to play the Basil this late in the game.
Yes.
Who cares? You can play it now.
Yeah.
I didn't have it first turn. I didn't have it now. If you're the Amethyst Sapphire player here at this moment, you know he has to sense that Alessandro's hand is a bit tricky.
Yes.
We know he has 2 uninkable cards, but our Blurple player here doesn't know that.
And even he knows, the only board wipe that is available is that Under the Sea, and he knows he doesn't have enough ink to play it, and he doesn't have the characters to sing it, so I think he feels really comfortable playing out those characters so that he can keep questing. I forget how much lore he had. Was he at 8? Lore, I believe. I can't remember.
He was definitely ahead on lore.
He was definitely ahead on lore.
We will try to bring you back to this compelling game as soon as possible. But he was ahead of lore. He had control of the board, and I can't. Yeah, I'm just in shock. I'm in anticipation. We know this Blurple deck is running Monstro, and we know against these fast aggro decks like Amber Emerald, this is Monstro's. Let's talk about Monstro for a minute.
Monstro's a great card.
He's a monster of a card.
He is.
Monstro, the monster, is such a great card for clearing so many of these, especially these aggro fast pacing Amber Emerald decks.
Yeah, and especially when they have low strength, right? So you have a lot of smaller characters maybe that quest for a lot, but they don't have a lot of strength. So then Monstro is able to challenge in with, because he has 8 willpower.
Yes.
And so he can do a lot of damage to clear a board. It's kind of, Monstro can act like a board wipe, right?
Yes, indeed. And then also, you have cards like Second Star to the Right. We know that Amethyst is great for drawing cards. Being able to do something like Second Star to the Right, draw 5 cards. If you have your Monstro in board and you have 5 cards in hand, that's like being able to discard and ready Monstro at least 5 times.
Yes, I've talked to multiple players who are on the Sapphire Amethyst build about that Second Star to the Right card, and they say, if you can play Second Star to the Right, you're winning the game.
Yes.
You know, so if you can get there, those 5 cards make all the difference.
Especially in these Amethyst Sapphire mirrors. And I'm sure we know Amethyst Sapphire was the most represented deck here this weekend.
Yeah, it was about a third of all 2,000, almost 2,000 players that we had here. Is about a third, maybe a little less than a third of the playing field.
Yeah, so we know both Amethyst Sapphire players are going to be running a lot of evasives. But it's so fascinating to me because it always feels like to me when I'm getting to cast these matches and getting to watch these games, it always feels like who's going to do the Second Star to the Right first?
Who's going to get it first? Who's going to play
Who's
it?
going to have more cards in hand to be able to perhaps play their Monstro, be able to ready their Monstro and clear the opposing player's board?
Now, Kim, have you played the Sapphire Amethyst deck?
Yes.
Yes.
I have played all the decks.
I
have been practicing. I've been preparing. I've tried my best to learn all of the matchups, and I feel like the best way for myself that I love to learn the game is
by doing.
As I learn by playing because in my heart I'm a competitive player. I played all of first season and I'm still a child at Christmas.
You really are.
I'm just so excited.
Christmas.
I'm so excited. I'm like Anna and Frozen. The sky's awake, so I'm awake. So we have to play Lorcana, and I get to share with you, Illumineers at home, this Lorcana that our players are playing.
Okay, so when it comes to the Sapphire Amethyst deck, then what are some of your favorite cards to play in that deck?
Oh, I think we've talked about it a lot.
Okay.
And we've talked about how important this card has been. And I'm excited because she's a Glimmer card. And we recently got a set coming out. I believe she came out this week officially.
Yes, just
that
Friday.
Elsa, the Fifth Spirit. The ability
Yes.
to be able to rush in there and exert the opposing player's characters on the board is, in my opinion, amazing.
It is amazing.
It's just bonkers.
Yeah,
I can't describe it, explain it. And being able to team up with cards like this Basil to be able to support them is absolutely amazing. But we're going to get back into it. We're already back into it. When we left off, Alessandro had such a tough hand. Okay, 2 Uninkables.
Yep.
2 Uninkable Under the Sea, and I believe we're going back over to his turn.
Yeah, and we will get an update for you on that judge call as soon as we can. Just to update everyone on where we are on the match, we have Lucas on that Sapphire Amethyst deck here at 13 lore in the lead, and we have Alessandro on Amber Emerald at 3 lore, and it is currently Alessandro's turn. And thinking here, we are going to go into Basil with the lady.
Yeah.
She, of course, getting the extra strength, I think, when Ursula was played here.
Yeah, and I really like this lady because you're able to play an additional card and she'll gain the strength and be able to challenge. But yes, we did find out that judge call, our Amethyst Sapphire player did see the top card of his deck, so that was resolved. Our judge, I have to commend our amazing judges here this weekend. They have been outstanding. They're working so hard, and that was resolved as it could be.
Yeah, shout out to all the judges in the Disney Lorcana TCG community. We could not do what we do here without an amazing, incredible judge team, and we have some really fine judges here at the feature tables and out with the players, just really representing the game well.
Yeah, mistakes like these happen. There's so much on the line. All these players trying to get their first place first place prize to win themselves a ticket to the World Championship.
Bell coming down, and Dumbo, who had 1 damage, going to move that damage to that lady to banish her to the inkwell. Another Dumbo, Kim.
It's the 9th wonder of the universe.
The 9th wonder of the universe, and it's like, oh, it feels like the 9th card here on Lucas's board. Not quite. We don't have quite 9 characters out, but my goodness, this board is incredible. Lucas has got to be feeling good, and Alessandro said
and that's going to be game.
Is it.
Yeah.
Game 1 going to our Amethyst Sapphire player.
Yeah.
And I just really don't think that Alessandro was going to come out of that with those 2 Under the Sea in hand.
No.
There was just nothing I think that he could do.
No, I really have to feel for Alessandro here, especially knowing that he was going into this on the draw. But knowing your opponents didn't have that turn 1 play, Alessandro had to be thinking, oh, maybe I have a chance. We weren't able to play a card. But that board state, you guys.
Yes, that board state.
2 uninkable Under the Seas in hand. I feel for Alessandro. There's so much on the line. These players, it's been such a long day. I have to commend them. They're doing phenomenal. The judge call, I know a lot of people, we did bring it back to us. Yeah, he did get a warning. Deck was reshuffled. Not to worry, it was figured out. But Amethyst Sapphire taking the game 1 win, meaning we're going into game 2.
Game 2, and I think that for our Amber Emerald player, I think he wants to really find that tramp.
Yes.
I think that he found it a little late, and then of course our Sapphire Amethyst player able to take care of it very quickly. But yeah, I think he is going to be on the play.
Yes.
I forget actually who was on the play in that first game.
It was our Sapphire Amethyst player.
Oh, that's right.
And he didn't have his turn.
And he
1.
didn't have turn.
He didn't
1.
have his turn 1.
So
but this time.
So then he lost on the draw, which is fine. I mean, not fine.
Not
you
fine.
want to win, right? But you don't want to lose when you're on the play. Is what I'm trying to say, right?
And we want to see this Amber Emerald deck doing what we know this Emerald it's been a long day, folks. I'm sorry.
Emerald.
This Amber Emerald deck do what it's going to be doing. Alessandro here going to be having the advantage, going to be able to do the thing that this deck does, and that's be able to play so many characters to the board. I want to see it.
I want to see
Maybe he can do it.
Yes.
Will we be able to
the board
see
with those glimmers?
Yes. Will we be able to see him sing together this Under the Sea? And he has it in his hand, unfortunately. It's not going to be too great, but I believe players are altering his hand. So ultimately, he could choose to alter his hand here and maybe hope to draw into it. Oh, and he is going to do it. He's going to send. I believe he's only keeping 2 cards.
Keeping 2 cards here. Really an aggressive altering of his opening hand. I know that we've talked about this. I'm sure you've talked about it. But altering your opening hand really is one of the most key parts of Disney Lorcana TCG strategy.
Yeah, you're going to, especially, and we see it, and making this decision absolutely an amazing decision. We've seen it previously, turn 1 now. Alessandro maybe perhaps able to establish this Aurora holding court, meaning we could see another turn 2 Tiana restaurant owner play.
That would be excellent. Over on Lucas's side, again, I saw a Rafiki. Haven't seen much in his hand. Jim Deere is going into the inkwell. Aurora holding court, just like you said, Kim, coming down, which means Tiana, that restaurant owner, will not be far behind. Lucas, hopefully, well, he does have a turn 1. We saw that Rafiki in hand.
Yes, we did. And that Rafiki
Monstro
into the inkwell. Yes, we've talked about this card, but Rafiki having that rush ability, or he has a challenger ability, would be able to take out this Aurora holding court. But Alessandro is going to be able to use this Aurora already to do this exactly what we talked about, Rebecca. Play this Tiana turn 2.
Yeah, I think that turning Aurora sideways to get that Tiana out on turn 2 is really important. He knows that Rafiki probably going to take her out, but that's okay because we have that Tiana now. Sailing the Azurite Seas, Lucas is doing that all-important turn 2 ramp.
Yeah, and when you see a Tipo being inked turn 2, you've got to know that your Sapphire Amethyst player has another way to ramp this turn. And I really do like the use of sail over Tipo and things like this, because it means instead of your ink going in exerted, your ink goes in to the inkwell. You're just able to ink an additional card, meaning like in this instance, he was able to utilize the ink to its fullest potential, being able to play that Basil.
Yes. Basil, again, that's that practice detective, I believe. And he is a 2/1 with support.
Yes.
You know what's interesting is I don't know. I have to like put my thinking cap on if there was another character in previous metas that had support that we saw in these really highly competitive decks. But this support character has come in. He's in like every Sapphire Amethyst deck.
We've seen it being used probably occasionally, probably rarely, but since our rotation, this new meta, this new world, and
It's a whole new world.
I had the honor of casting with Baker earlier, and we got to see a Sapphire Steel deck using the Alice growing girl, and she has
love
all
that
to do with the
card.
support, and I'm loving this support. I love this
Yes.
support mechanic so much, and I'm so happy in our post rotation meta it's being utilized to its fullest potential.
I love that so much. Support is great. It's really fun.
And it's so wholesome and it's so beautiful. And
It is wholesome.
It's just our glimmers on the board supporting one another. Yes, okay, you're going to be challenging, but we're still supporting each other.
Yes, Alessandro is taking his time here, really thinking, what does he want to do? What does he want to ink? He does have that Ursula Deceiver, which could come down if he inks another card, and he could take a look at Lucas's hand, maybe pull a song card out of Lucas's hand. He has Into the Unknown. That could be lurking around the corner, but let's see here. What else? We have that Jim Deer. It looks like that Bodyguard in hand.
We also have
we
we could definitely see the Ursula Deceiver coming in here, knowing Lucas could have that 3 cost Into the Unknown. Alessandro going to be wanting to quest, ideally start to gain that bit of lore advantage. We could see Ursula Deceiver come into play, being able to look at Lucas's hand, giving Alessandro the opportunity to perhaps discard that Into the Unknown out of his hand. Would definitely save his Tiana from being sent into the unknown, or in this instance into the inkwell. But there's no songs in his hand.
No songs again. Poor Ursula, looking for a voice and unable to find it. Her shell necklace is empty.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to ink a card. I
pass.
contemplated in my brain, if I was Alessandro right here, is it better to play the Jim Deer and quest with my Tiana and quest, or is it better to do the Ursula Deceiver? And I think taking the risk and going for the Ursula Deceiver, just in case they did have Into the Unknown, is, in my opinion, a much safer play. Because we know the previous game, Lucas was just able to gain board control so quickly. But the Dumbo,
Ninth wonder of the universe.
he's coming into play already.
He is back. We have another Tiana coming down on Alessandro's side. Now, this is fantastic. Of course, that second Tiana, she cannot be exerted this turn. But if he has both those Tianas facing sideways, Lucas would have to pay 6 ink in order to challenge Kim.
Yeah, but just even being able to establish another character on board, meaning that tramp that you were talking about, he would be able to play it for
3 ink right now.
Right now, such a reduced cost because he has 4 characters in play.
A Rafiki going into the inkwell on Lucas's side and playing that Ursula Voice Stealer and taking out the Ursula Deceiver with Dumbo.
Yeah.
Taking out a character now before he has to pay for.
Yeah. Because neither of these Tianas are exerted yet. So he doesn't have to pay a toll. Lucas is getting ready, setting himself up, starting to build up that board so that he has the opportunity to challenge these characters. He has the Basil on board. Lucas, we know Sapphire does a Sapphire thing. He's going to have loads. Sapphire does. He's going to ink a lot of cards. He's going to be able to pay the toll quite easily. This turn, he's going to be able to have 6 ink. He's going to be able to pay this toll. And he has this Basil in play, meaning he's going to be able to support his other characters, meaning he could easily take out these Tianas on board. But no, he's not going to be able to. There's 2 bodyguards.
2 bodyguards. 2 0-4 bodyguard Jim Deers have come down. He has 2 Tianas sideways. He's going to have to pay 6 ink if he wants to challenge those bodyguards. This is a board. I would not want to be sitting across from Alessandro right now with those Tianas and those bodyguards.
No, poor Lucas isn't even he's only going to be able to ink to 6, folks. Not even going to be able to ink to 7 to be able to play Hades Infernal Schemer, and to do anything he has to get through those Jim Deers. But he can't challenge those Jim Deers right now because all of his characters are going to have not not -3 strength, but there's 2 exerted Tianas, meaning he's going to have -6 strength.
Yeah, and because he, like you said, he can only ink right now to go up to 6, that means he could only do 1 challenge, and then all his ink would be expended. So what does Lucas do here? He is inking a Madam Mim elephant.
Yeah, a potential, even a potential, I know it's bonkers, I know it's wild, a potential double into the unknown would really help him out here, because both Tianas are exerted, meaning he could sing into the unknown, or even just double hard cast into the unknown on these Tianas would super help him here. And then he would have his characters still on the board being able to challenge into these Gym Deers and really clean up Alessandro's board, because right now, I'm a bit scared.
Okay, he did. He quested with Basil here. We gave the support to our Ursula voice stealer, and he exerted all 6 ink to challenge into one of those Gym Deer bodyguards.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it just had to be done.
Yes.
It just had to be done. You're going to have to start dealing with this board. Unfortunately, didn't have the cards he needed, but possibly next turn, perhaps we could see a Hades Infernal Schemer come down to be able to deal with at least one of these Tianas.
At least one of these Tianas. Those Tianas are a problem. We have an improvise, and it looks like a lady, I think, in Alessandro's hand. Thinking here about what he wants to do. These players, of course, there's extended time. It's 70 minutes here excuse me. We are now in top 8, and I believe these times are unround. There's a timer up there, but they are untimed starting at top 8, Kim.
I'm not sure if it's top 8 or top 4. We will find out, and we will let you Lumineers at home know. But right now, 2 Tianas on the board. Did Aurora just challenge into that Basil?
Yes, she did. Aurora said, I am done holding court, and I am going to challenge that Basil, that support. Alessandro saying that support is doing too much for you. I can't have you doing that anymore.
Especially when you're not the person doing the supporting, you can see how dangerous this can be. This Basil being able to support the Ursula, who already has 3 attack, making it a 5 attack, and Lucas being able to he has ink available. He can just pay the Tiana toll. Why not? He has it available to him.
Toll. Tiana's restaurant is very expensive. Inking a Basil, and what do we have, Lucas?
What do we have? Is that 2 cards left in hand? What could we see here? Could it be the Hades Infernal Schemer?
It could be. And we are sending one of those restaurant owners into the inkwell.
Bye-bye. 1 Tiana down, 1 to go. Can Lucas do it? It is 11 lore to 2.
And an into the unknown. We were talking about that earlier, that would be the perfect card for Lucas to have. And now we have Rafiki and Ursula, voice stealer, going into that other Gym Deer bodyguard and really cleaning up Alessandro's side of the board there. Kim, that was a turn.
That was a turn. Such a phenomenal play there by Lucas, really showing he knows this deck inside out. Has to have known this deck inside out. He's made it to top 8. Both players really trying. Alessandro really going to want to be taking this win. He's going to be wanting to go to a game 3. But Lucas being able, it doesn't matter. Alessandro had that lead on lore. It's 11 lore to 2. But no, we've seen Hades. We've seen Dumbo sang into the unknown on the Tiana.
Did you know that Dumbo was a great singer?
I did not know. I was under the impression that Dumbo couldn't speak. He was just a little baby.
Just a little baby elephant. That Into the Unknown, though, a fantastic card. Of course, a dual ink. I love the dual ink cards. And that Into the Unknown, such a key card in this Sapphire Amethyst deck.
Yes, and now we do know Alessandro is on 4, 5, 6, 7 ink. Even if he was able to ink a card and play in Under the Sea, it wouldn't do much here. You're only going to clear the Rafiki, because the Dumbo, the Ursula, and the Hades, they all have 3 strength.
Trying to see what that third card is in his hand. He has an Ursula.
He has a Gym Deer, and is that a tramp? That's a tramp.
Yes. Yeah, that is the tramp enterprising.
Oh, enterprising dog.
That 1/3.
That 1/3, and I believe when you play this character, it gives strength to the other character.
Correct. Well, when you play this character, chosen character gets +1 strength this turn for each other character you have in play. You also can pay 1 less if you have Lady in play, which he does have that Miss Park Avenue in play. But that 1/3 tramp character, I don't know that is the card that Alessandro runs right now with facing this Hades, Ursula, Dumbo, Rafiki on Lucas' side of the board.
No, and this lady, Miss Park Avenue, does have 4 strength, 4 willpower. We could see a challenge into that Ursula, perhaps, or even the Rafiki being able to take them out. But then you're stuck with this evasive Dumbo. What is he going to do here? I haven't seen the Mother Knows Best. I haven't seen a You're Welcome. It's going to be really tricky for Alessandro, even though he's ahead on lore. We've seen it previously, unfortunately. 2 uninkable Under the Sea stuck in his hand game 1. And, I felt from game 1. I'm going to feel for him now.
Yeah, no, there are only 2 actions that Alessandro is running in his deck. He has that Improvise, which we have seen, and he does have Under the Sea. But no You're Welcome.
No You're Welcome.
No other actions, no other songs.
No, Alessandro really, he was on the play this game. He was able to play a lot of characters to the board. He was able to get an early advantage in lore. But unfortunately, Lucas just showing the power of this Amethyst Sapphire deck and just taking control of the board. It's going to be an Ursula Deceiver coming in, but unfortunately, Lucas has no cards in hand.
No cards in hand. Just adding another Glimmer on the board just to try to increase his board presence. He did take out that Rafiki with Lady Miss Park Avenue.
Yeah, just really, really tough plays here for Alessandro, because what is he going to do to be able to get rid of this Dumbo? It's not under the seeable.
It's under the seeable.
It's not under the seeable. No, it's not. It can't be sent under the deck.
Yes.
But does he want to establish perhaps this Jim Deere to protect his lady? Because Lucas could be able, if he top decks something that he can play, he can challenge into this lady to banish it with both the Ursula and the Hades. We're going to play the Jim Deere, not going to play it in bodyguard mode.
No, and I think that's okay, actually. Jim Deere is a bodyguard, didn't come down exerted, but Lady being a 4/4 character, Lucas, all his characters on board right now all have just 3 strength. That means he's going to have to use 2 characters to challenge into Lady. Of course, Hades will survive because he has that 6 willpower, but whether he challenges with the Ursula or the Dumbo, they would not survive the challenge. And so I think that Alessandro feels pretty safe to exert that lady, because even if Lucas does challenge to take her out, he will have removed one of those characters from his side of the board, unless he plays Hypnotic Strength. Oh, and they're using just one character, that Ursula Voice Stealer, taking out that lady, Miss Park Avenue.
No, didn't even need to use both Hades and Ursula to take out Miss Park Avenue, showing the power of Hypnotic Strength, not only to give additional strength, but it also helps Lucas draw a card.
Yes, absolutely.
And then just a Jim Deere and an Ursula left on the board for Alessandro. 11 lore now to 5. Lucas slowly creeping back up.
There is that Tramp. Oh, he had 2 of those Tramp Enterprising Dogs. Played those, and
first Tramp being able to give additional strength, but then being able to play another Tramp, being able to give even more strength, because it gives just as much strength as characters in play. Being able to take out that Hades Infernal Schemer. Just a Dumbo, 9th wonder of the universe, left on the board. Lucas going to be able to gain a lore, pay the 1, gain a lore, and draw a card. Really showing how powerful this new card introduced to us this set is. This Iago, double 2. Iago. We have to talk about this illusion card.
Let's talk about it. What is it, Kim?
Such a strong illusion character card here. Now, this illusion character has the vanish ability, which means if it's targeted by an action, it's gonna vanish. It's gonna vanish.
You know what's great? So Alessandro is running those improvised actions.
Yes.
He could actually choose to add. I choose Iago to give +1 strength now that Iago has been targeted.
Yeah, and that would just make them
an action, and they would vanish.
It would do the
vanish.
like in my brain when I'm playing illusions, or when I'm watching this, all in my brain, if you play an action on the illusion, in my brain, what my brain thinks of just the Iago illusion, what would happen? It will just go like a balloon. Pop, 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 pop.
I love it.
Yes, but unfortunately, no improvise in sight. It's going to be a Jim. It's going to be just a Pluto coming into board.
Unfortunately
for Alessandro. 2 Iagos on the board, and they have 4 strength, 6 willpower. Oh, and I'm bringing a genie wish fulfilled here. Lucas is going to draw an additional card, doing that thing we talked about that Amethyst does so well. Another genie wish fulfilled.
Yeah, not choosing to ink that Dumbo, thinking, he probably is thinking, I already have one Dumbo out on the board, and I would rather have this genie that quests for 2. So I'll go ahead and inking that Dumbo and developing a second genie. And this, he has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lore on the board now. Going into next turn, he would be able to really start putting the pressure on.
Yeah, and not 1, not 2, but 3 evasive cards on the board for Lucas. Oh, I'm feeling for Alessandro again here. There's not much he's going to be able to do to clear these evasive cards. Yes, both the genie wish fulfilled are under the seeable.
And they are under the seeable, but not enough characters, not enough to play under the sea.
No,
even
not
if
enough
he
to
could
sing it.
To sing it, he couldn't sing it.
No, he could not sing it.
He does have enough ink that he could play it.
No, I believe he's only on 7.
Oh, he only has 7
So even if he top decked under the sea, he doesn't even have an inkable card in his hand. He's going to be able to ink and then hard pass under the sea.
I think I just saw that he has the Lilo Escape Artist in hand. So he does
have a Lilo Escape Artist? Okay, possibly. Now, we know Lucas has 5 characters on board. It's 12 lore to 9. Lucas next turn going to be able to quest for 2, 4, 6, 7. It's going to bring him up to 16. Alessandro, 12 lore on the board. But what are you going to be able to do to these evasive cards? Only top decking a Lilo Escape Artist?
Yes. Yeah, Lilo
I'm feeling for him.
Yeah, and all these, both tramps have just 1 strength, and then both Jim Deere and Pluto 0 strength. So Alessandro is not in the position here to be doing any challenges, even if he could. And there is that Lilo Escape Artist that I was just saying was in his hand. He is playing it out and choosing here to quest. He was at 12. He's now going to go to 16. I think he's just saying, I just got to put the pressure on. I'm going to hit the gas. We're going to start to quest and say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes,
clear my board.
Clear my board.
Alessandro, unfortunately, doesn't have the answers to answer his opponent's board. But Alessandro now having story on board, meaning Lucas is going to be going to have to do what Alessandro couldn't do to Lucas's board, and Lucas is going to have to try and clear as many characters off this board as possible.
Which he's going to be able to do quite
he's going to be
easily.
able to do. We've seen it. This Iagos has such a high strength. Either Iago can take out this Jim Deere here, both having 4 strength, that Jim Deere having 4 willpower. Iago going to be able to challenge, can take out Jim Deere. Either one of our genies could challenge and take out this Pluto. And a Dumbo and an Iago could take out either of these tramps.
Now,
and I have to say, if Lucas has a Hades Infernal Schemer in hand, he could also use it, but no,
deeper.
Dig a little deeper. Yeah, it's gonna come in. It's gonna be played. He's gonna be able to look through the top 7 cards of his deck, perhaps hoping to find even an Into the Unknown to be able to deal with more character cards. But we know Lucas has enough glimmers on board to be able to effectively deal with Alessandro's exerted cards on board, because he can effectively challenge in. I'm really intrigued to see Lucas really not wanting to show the camera his cards.
He really doesn't want to
show us his cards at all. But perhaps looking for that Hades Infernal Schemer to play next turn to be able to deal with this Lilo once it quests. Because
Basil and a Rafiki coming down.
Yeah, because if Lucas can effectively deal with the Pluto and the Jim Deere and both tramps on board, leaving this Lilo, Alessandro going to be able to quest to 18, but going to need a way to deal with this Lilo. And by sending it into the Inkwell, stops Alessandro being able to play it from the discard at the start of the next turn.
Yeah, I think that's why Alessandro decided to quest with all of his characters, right? Is because he has that Lilo. He's at 16 right now. Next turn, he could possibly quest with 2 with that Lilo, even if Lucas took care of all of his other characters. I think probably Alessandro is hoping that there wasn't another Hades Infernal Schemer coming down, taking out Pluto now. So he did clear the board there, except for that little Lilo. And you know, the other thing that this does is it stops Lucas from questing, right? So Alessandro said, I have game on board,
Yes.
I have story on board. That means that Lucas has to answer and cannot quest himself. Saves Alessandro for another turn. It is back to him. He is gonna quest for 2.
Yeah, and Lucas having to challenge that turn, not being able to quest, meant this turn he was not able to get up to 20. This turn he's only going to be able to quest up to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, meaning he's missing 2.
Missing 2. And Alessandro, I don't know what card he top decked
he
on
just
his
pass
turn,
back?
but he just quested with Lilo and did not play anything. So I don't know what that card is, but he did not play it.
He did not play it. He kept it in his hand. Was it another uninkable? Could it have been perhaps an uninkable under the sea?
I would not be surprised if it was.
Because even well, this turn, Lucas is going to be able to quest. He's going to be able to get up to 18. If Lucas can establish even an Into the Unknown, if he can just play an Into the Unknown or even a Hades Infernal Schemer to get rid of this Lilo, meaning next turn, if Alessandro isn't able to deal with his entire board, he's going to be able to win.
There's that Hades,
That's the Hades
into
Infernal
the
Schemer.
inkwell. Okay, now
Yeah.
if he does have that Under the Sea in his hand, I don't think it's going to do him any good because so many of Lucas's characters have such high strength. It really wouldn't hit not enough to keep him. Lucas,
No,
and he says,
and that is it. It was the Under the Sea.
Man,
Oh,
both
once
game
again.
1 and game 2, that uninkable 8-cost Under the Sea song is what kept Alessandro from getting ahead and taking that win, Kim.
Oh, I have to feel for Alessandro.